All right. What is going on, guys? Time to do my live stream for Edge of Eternity's Day 1. Would have loved to be here to do it earlier when more people were around, but unfortunately, I had to go out and be busy, and instead, I got to do it now. But hopefully, somebody's out there who wants to watch. And just going to go through first and look at what the release notes for this new set is. I did look at some of the stuff here and there when I was in between doing stuff. So I have a little bit of an idea of what to expect here, but let's actually go through and review it, do a little bit of a deep dive on what they have given us here. Webcore, release note 7.4, set rotation. If you've been following my channel, you know that I did a video on this. So with this update, we say goodbye to a few sets. So we know that the Phyrexian Brothers War whole thing is out of standard. Not too sad about it. There are obviously some key cards. I mean, you would hope there would be in 4 sets, but actually not that painful of a rotation for me. Revolving Planeswalk is now a legacy event. It will not be offered weekly anymore. I don't know if that means that they'll never run it again. I mean, we've never seen Zendikar expeditions. I do kind of miss that version of the whole Revolving Planeswalk thing. The following events remain standard and had their rewards updated. So, Break the Power Stone will now give out Ether Drift packs instead of Bro. Of Machine of Freedom will give out Ravnica. Kamigawa Run will now give out OTJ packs instead of Neo. That's interesting. So, neither of those we've seen in a while, which, I mean, I'm all right. We've been playing them for however long now at this point, so I'm not missing them that much. But these new rewards were chosen so that the new rewards are still aligned with the objectives of each event and its mechanics. Okay, so they put some thought into that part of the reward system there. So good on them. What else we got? New Planeswalkers, Tezzeret Cruel Captain. So I totally thought this was a blue Planeswalker. It's actually colorless, so that's pretty interesting. So it's 142 health points. That's really good. That's like up there as some of the most health points in the whole game. So for what that's worth, that's pretty cool. Benefits artifacts in hand, artifact creatures on the battlefield. Tutors small artifacts directly to play and amass a high powered and resilient robot army. Okay, what does that mean exactly? But that's what they want us to do. Okay, mana bonuses are flat, so you get 4 mana on any type of colored match. So we definitely always need something in play that will help boost that. I don't think these abilities help you with that at all. Otherwise, deck limits 6 creatures, 6 spells, and 7 supports. That's pretty good for a colorless planeswalker, to be honest. 6 spells is nice because the Karns only have 5 spells. And 7 supports is also pretty good. I think the Yugins get like 6 supports each or 7, I forget. But not a bad deck limit, you know, spread there. So what are these abilities? Ability 1, Artificer Adaptations, cost 5. Okay, cost 5, not bad. But what do you get? First artifact card in your hand gains 6 mana. If you control an artifact creature, your first artifact creature gets +2/+2. Ability 2. Okay, so let's talk about that one before we go further. So for 5 cost, getting 6 mana into your hand, you do have to play artifacts, so that is something. It's okay. Your first artifact creature gets +2/+2. That's whatever. Pretty vanilla ability. It is kind of nice to get 6 mana in your hand to an artifact. I'm going to assume you're just going to overload your deck with artifacts, so that's something. Genius Machinations. Pick one of the first 4 artifact cards with base cost 10 or less from your library. Put that card into play under your control. Okay, free mana crypt, free cryptex. That's not bad. Cost 13 is a little much for that. But I always think targeted fetch is always pretty good. You just have to build for this. Maybe you just only want one, but you can pick. So actually, no, you don't really care if it's just one. If you don't, I mean, you care, but you don't have to worry about it because you get a choice. So you can have more than one base cost 10 and still be consistent, right? You probably don't want 4 because you want to have some predictability in your choice there. But if you do Mana Crypt and Cryptex, there you go. That's a pretty good setup for mana ramp there. We'll have to look to see if there are other nice artifacts under 10 mana or less, but those are the 2 that come to mind right away. Just make sure my gosh, I'm so tired. I'm trying to do this and concentrate, but anyway, where was I? It'll come to me later. Ability 3, example of perfect form, cost 15. Create 3 robot tokens and create 3 Darksteel adapter tokens. So the robot tokens are 2/2s. So you get a 6/6 robot, and then the Darksteel adapter tokens. I believe these are supports, so we'll look at that later. The Wanderer and Kaito join the Gatewatch. This looks like it sounds like this was a Planeswalker we were supposed to get way back in the Brothers War whole thing, back in like March of Machines. Eternal Wanderer 122, not bad. She does have a passive ability. We'll have to see what that is. Colors white, yeah. Mana bonuses +7 to white. Okay, so we got a Johnny spread. That's always really good. So far, I like. Deck limits 9 creatures, 5 spells, 5 supports. 9 creatures is a lot. I don't know why you need 9 creatures. 5 spells, 5 supports, so you can balance stuff out. In mono white, I don't really mind not having a ton of spells. Yeah, that's all right. Passive ability, unstable planeswalking. Okay, we're going to have to actually look at the planeswalker thing here just to see what these other cards or these other abilities do for us. So let's go back to look at Tezzeret here. Let me just make sure that my thing is still showing correctly. All right. Okay, what was the Darksteel adapter? Okay, here we go. It is a support. At the beginning of combat your turn, your artifact creature gets +X/+X. Those creatures gain plus prevent damage until end of turn. X is a support shield. So, okay. Let's just say we keep the 3 Darksteel adapter tokens. We're getting +3/+3 every turn to your robots and whatever other artifact creatures are playing. That's pretty weak. I guess if you were to spam that third ability a bunch, you can get a sizable token there, but pretty underwhelming third ability. Let's hope it's not that expensive. Cost 15. Yeah, I can't see myself using that ability very often at all. It's going to be about the ability 1 and especially the ability 2. Don't love it. Interesting, kind of. I don't know. I'm not super into his abilities. I gotta admit, the ability 2 is the one that seems like it's going to be the best functional one. But yeah, not great, but we'll give him a shot. Okay, passive ability, unstable planeswalking. At the end of your turn, if you made a loyalty match by swap this turn, your white mana bonus is increased by X until the end of your next turn. X is the amount of loyalty gems destroyed this turn. Okay, so you can +3 on your loyalty match. Um, Is there a way to get extra swaps in white right now? Because I feel like that's going to be the best way to take advantage of that. I don't think so. And you can't use Golden Wish to pump up your white match or your white loyalty, white bonus very much. So it's a little bit of a cap on that. That would be an insane ability if it was that, with that, if it was just loyalty matches. So, all right. It's not super broken. It seems okay. We'll have to see just how reliable that really is. Disable the first opposing creature until the beginning of your next turn. I'm just thinking in my head, maybe if you swap loyalty and then you use, like Healer of the Pride or something to create white gems another way, that could be interesting. She'll be fun to mess with, that passive. Ability 1, level 4, draw 2 cards and disable the first 2 opposing creatures till the beginning of your next turn. Oh man, that's going to be annoying. Even at cost 9, that's really good. Drawing 2 cards in mono white is always pretty good. Most white planeswalkers don't have built-in card draw, so that's actually pretty neat. Disable the first 2 opposing creatures, that's also great too. Wow, that's a very oppressive first ability. Ability 2, Emperor Kamigawa, cost 12. Create a samurai token and convert 5 gems to white. Okay. So there you go. You create loyalty gems a different way, and then you play this ability, and then you get a bunch of mana to your hand if you convert those 5 gems and match into them. I like that. That's a pretty good second ability. So far, pretty good. Ability 3, Kinetic Retribution, cost 17. When you take damage for the first time during your turn, prevent 10 of that damage, then destroy this support. Okay, that's not, that's all right. Oh, okay, this gets even better. Oh, that's only the first. Okay, so here's what it looks like at level 4. When you take damage for the first time during your turn, prevent 20 of that damage. Nice. Then destroy the support. When a support is destroyed, destroy all opposing creatures. Wow. So you set up a nice little board wipe here for only your opponent. Damn, that is good. These are some good abilities. Dang, this might be up there with PMA Ajani as the best mono white walker. I'm definitely looking forward to trying her. Or is it him? I think it's her. Yeah, it's her. Yeah, that looks sweet. I like that. Okay, so we can go back to our thing here, our notes, but before I do that, I should probably load up my game. So let's do that here in a sec. All right. Bring back my stuff. Keep the chat going in case anyone's watching. But I'm going to load up Puzzle Quest. While that is loading, let's look at Planar Chaos. Okay, I got some thoughts about this event. PvE 20 mana crystal. So this is what is taking place of Revolving Planeswalk. Special rules. You'll face random PvE enemies from the MTGPQ universe. You actually fight also PvPs. I noticed that though. they'll throw Commodore Guff or whatever at you. After 5 victories or 2 defeats, the event will end and you'll receive the accumulated rewards. But actually, the event didn't end after 5 victories because I was able to keep playing it. So I think you just play it until you lose twice. Problem is, man, if you end up with the wrong couple of matchups, you lose twice and that's it. Um, so it's a really kind of tough event to. I just don't think it's really well set up in that way. I just don't think that that's very fair to a lot of players. I think this is going to really frustrate a lot of people because you can just get matched up with the wrong two um, opponents or PVEs, and you just get bad matchups or whatever, and you end up losing, and that's it for you. So this is a kind of a risky event to play, whereas Revolving Planeswalk, you can just treat it like another quick battle because you got so many tries on it. There are a lot of issues I had with Revolving Planeswalk, but I don't think this was a really suitable um, replacement for it. I mean, I do like the rewards. I just wish the event was a little bit different than what we get here. So, um, I played it, yeah, and I do like that you get the booster packs and the rare card is really good. I love that. I love that they brought that back. Getting a chance to earn your rares from the daily event. That really helped for me when I was playing Zendikar expeditions a lot. That was the best way to get all the awesome rares. So kudos to them for making the rares a little bit easier to obtain just playing the game. I just don't love the setup of the special rules there. Um, Not to mention, this is basically just a reskinned battles from the ages. They just basically recycled that and made it weird. But I don't know. We'll see. I think some people will like it. Some people will hate it. I know at least one person uh, who has voiced their opinion on how much they don't like it. And I have done the same thing back in private, but we'll have to get into that. Um, okay, fix. Sacrificing Progenitus using Gitrog Ravenous Ride causes its death trigger to not work. Okay, that was an issue. I think that's one of the ones that um, I think that was one that what do you call it? Gosh, I am so tired. Words are failing me, and I am live streaming, so that's not good. Um, I reported that one. Gosh, why can't I say report? Demonic Covenant giving mana to the first card in your player's hand instead of to the one just drawn. Oh, I actually kind of liked when it was the first mana. I always like giving mana to the first card in my hand. That is a really good ability. Um, I still like Demonic Covenant. I will still like Demonic Covenant, I'm sure. I just wish that it still worked the way it did. But oh well. This was a weird fix. Surak Elusive Hunter's text was incorrect. So before, the first card of the match color in your hand gains mana equal to the amount of gems on that color's card on the board, or card's color. And now they just completely got rid of that and replaced it with something new. Can't have its mana drained or raised. So where was this effect supposed to go? What card was supposed to have this? Because this is an awesome ability, and it's too bad that it's just gone from the game now. Um, this card is okay otherwise. At the beginning of your turn, spell cards in your hand gain 2 mana. When your opponent casts a creature card, draw a card. So now it's an all right creature. I just think that that whole before thing, if they actually did implement that, that would have been a really interesting and cool card. But unfortunately, they just decided to say to hell with it. Fixed. Greg sometimes returning its own creature when resolving Merfolk of the Depths trigger. I don't even know what card Merfolk of the Depths is, but coolio. All right. Now we did that. Let's open some booster packs. What do we think of the abilities here, or the whole release notes? There are some cool cards, and we'll get into that here when we're able to play this game. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's load our game. All right, we are there. I know a lot of people are having issues with things not loading correctly, but or not necessarily not loading correctly, just issues with that whole convert duplicates thing, which is a relic from way back, and I am not surprised that some Hibernum code is not working correctly, because that's just how bad they were at coding. There were so many issues back then. Just waiting for it to load here. Loading data. Loading profile. Okay, here we are. All right. So, first thing we want to do, can open our non-dupe pack from the last set. So we should get some Ravnica masterpieces and stuff. I don't remember what I have left. Okay, yeah, so at least two masterpieces. So let's go ahead and grab those. Biomass Mutation, that is a cool looking card. Tidespout Tyrant also seems neat. Undercity Plague, I finally get this one. Judge is Familiar. And finally, this Mythic that for some reason was not craftable. So here we go. Stalking Vengeance, 21 mana, 5/5. Avatar Haste. This creature dies, deal X damage to their opponent's planeswalker. X is that creature's power. Okay, so you play this card and then you destroy their side of the board, and you do that much more damage to them. So it seems like a cool card. But you're not here to talk about Ravnica, are you? You want to see what happens when I open packs. I hope, because that's what we're doing here. So if you're not here for that, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, what should we open first? Let's open any just basic boosters we have. Let's start with the boring stuff first and work our way up to the most exciting stuff, right? Cool. Already a mythic. Or mythic. Rare. Wish was a mythic. All right. So what do we get? Pick one of the first four cards from your library. Kicker 5. Pick two of the first four cards from your library. That's okay. Kicker 5 means you're going to be spending 11 mana to pick two of the first four cards from your library. It's not bad. It's playable, but I don't think it's going to make it in a lot of people's decks. It is a decent card, though. I don't know if I want to go through all the commons and stuff unless we see something cool. Destroy an opposing creature or spacecraft support. I'm guessing that's untargeted. For 7 mana, untargeted removal is not bad. That's definitely a playable common, especially for Commoner Cup or something like that. So, not bad. Pretty good little pack there. Start off with a rare right off the bat. Love that. Okay, some commons. An uncommon. Anything here? It's a lot of words. Station 6. I didn't check to see what station even does. Cards with station gain charge when you make loyalty matches by swap. Okay. Cards with station will have additional effects when they reach enough station value or more. Okay. So that's what we're doing here. So station could be cool with Yugen. Um, because you're probably going to be matching loyalty gems with that one. But I don't know. Is station going to be worth really going for? Probably not in most cases. Creature attacks, draw a card. That's not bad for black. Triggers only once per turn makes me not even want to read the rest of the card, but okay. Nothing good came of that pack. Okay. More commons and uncommons. What's a lander token? Support card, artifact token. At the beginning of your turn, this support loses one shield. When the support is stored, convert 2 gems to your planeswalker's colors. That's okay. There, this would actually work really well with something like Anzrag's Rampage. Few other things that destroy. What do you call it? Ignite gems. That could be really cool for that. So I don't know. Do we get lander tokens in red? That'd be great to know. But okay, that's not bad. When this creature enters the battlefield or is reinforced, create a lander token, then draw a card. Oh, pair that with. I mean, this seems like a waste of knowledge is power, but that's still something funny to do. Uh, because you're gonna reinforce and then draw a card, and then reinforce and then draw a card. So you're gonna create up to 6 lander tokens right away, just because it should be triggering knowledge's power when you draw a card, and then that drawing a card is going to reinforce. So I mean, that's just a funny little synergy. I don't think it's going to be like some meta card or anything, but I think that's still kind of neat. Probably play that when I master that card. Activate 1, destroy the creature, and fetch the first equipment card from your library. Oh, that sucks. Okay. We have a slightly intriguing uncommon there. No, not a something went wrong error. Okay. Already some dupes. When this card enters the battlefield or is reinforced, return a random opposing creature card to their owner's hand. Not bad. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may destroy this card. If you do, create a charged specimen freighter token. Okay, so that's the creature. It becomes a creature if this card gets Station 5. Station 5 is a lot, though. I'm going to assume that they're going to make the station level way too high on all of these cards. Hopefully, it's not another descend mechanic. That mechanic sucked only because they made the cost of descend way too much, and I fear that that's what's going to be happening with station as well. Beginning your turn, a random creature gains stun counter when they gain 2 mana. Does that mean a random creature on either side? Because that kind of sucks if it's either side. I think that's actually almost playable if it's only opposing creatures. Okay. It's interesting, but I don't know how good it is. Should we open our super packs from our collector box? Go ahead and do that now. Sure, why not? Because these are basically just 3 more regular packs. So we're basically opening 12 more regular packs. There's nothing, I don't think anything too special about these packs besides them being just 3. Okay, we got a myth. What do I call it? Mythic. It's a rare, and I already had that one because I think I just pulled it out of a regular pack earlier. No, it was my rare that I got for. Ooh, we got a mythic. Nice. All right, so what do we got? Creature Sphinx. Oh yeah, the other one I got was from Planar Chaos. 4/6 for 16 mana. It's got flying and it's got warp 8. And warp is a creature with warp will trigger its warp effect if you exile the card from your hand and drain mana equal to the warp value from the last cards of your hand with mana. So we do like that. And the mechanic was spoiled already in the by the other content creators. So if you want a more detailed explanation to that, go check out those. Check out Nalthazar Godsmaster. When the creature enters the battlefield, draw a card, gains full mana. Okay, so it's like what's his face? Phenomenon Investigators. So it's basically another Phenomenon Investigators with a little bit more power. That's cool. We like full mana. So you do this with whatchamacallit? Extravagant Replication. And then it will be an 8/12. So yeah, it's a little bit of a beefier Phenomenon Investigators. Solid card. Not that solid. This creature attacks, discard a card without mana and draw a card. Okay. When support enters the board, first opposing creature is disabled, then gain control of your opponent's first creature. Oh, weird. So you steal. So this is like a baby. What's it called? Possession Engine. It's basically that, but untargeted. And then it's just basically creature steal without the it's like Possession Engine without the extra mana gain effect. Good card. It's an enchantment aura, so that's also kind of interesting. So that might be relevant elsewhere. Cool. I could see that card. This card I could see being used. Yeah, it's pretty good. If you don't have Possession Engine, this is a fine stand-in for that. You might even like it more because it's got it only costs 9 mana and it's untargeted. I think Possession Engine is targeted, if I remember correctly. I can't remember. Okay, when this creature enters the battlefield, your opponent creates 2 lander tokens. Then this creature gets +2/+2. I don't really like that. That would have been cool if it was you. That would have been a decently playable card otherwise. Yeah, that's too bad. This creature enters the battlefield, convert 2 gems to white. Okay. And then warp 7, convert 2 gems to white. You're probably not going to care that much about the warp 7 just to convert 2 gems to white, but I don't know. Oh, it's one of these. Seamer. Okay, we got our first Colors of Magic card to use. 11 mana, Bind Emblem. Yep, this is definitely going to be one of those that replaces whatever we lost from, I think it was Prayer of Binding, maybe, that we lost to rotation. So that's good. We like that. And everything else didn't seem that interesting to me. Okay, next. Super Pack. Pretty happy with that. Okay, Close Encounter. All right. New card. Another Tractor Beam. Another rare. Nice. Nice. Okay, we got some 11 cost cards. So, Colors of Magic. Are they going to be relevant? When an artifact card enters play under your control, Create 2 robot tokens. This ability triggers only once during each turn. Okay. Not really sure how you get an artifact into play on your opponent's turn. I'm sure there are. I'm just not thinking of them off the top of my head. Maybe something blows up on their turn and it creates an artifact. So that's okay. Create 2 robot tokens. So the robot tokens are 2/2s. That's actually not bad. It's not amazing, but for Colors of Magic, that's actually a playable card. Deal X damage to target opposing creature. X is the total warp value of creatures with warp in your exile. That's weird. Yeah, I don't know who's going to really want to use that card much. For 13 mana, that's too much for something so unpredictable. Another 11 mana card. So is it Colors of Magic worthy? When this support enters the board, destroy the first opposing creature. Okay, yes. Already, yes. Station 3, at the beginning of combat, your turn, you may destroy this card. Then you create a charged Caesarean Dirge Craft token. When this card enters the battlefield, is reinforced. Okay, so it basically does the same thing, and then you create a 4/3. Yeah, that's okay. So I don't know how often you're going to hit the Station 3, but very solid card for Colors of Magic. Another good one there. Right on. That's going to be annoying. I just know it. Okay, anything else? Creatures get +2 and gain vigilance. It's going to be an okay, what do you call it? Going to be an okay card for Mastery with a Johnny and stuff. Beyond that, people probably don't care. Okay. Some new cards. Okay, did we get anything interesting? 14 mana, 5/7 plant beast. At the beginning of your turn, if this card is in your hand, reduce the cards by X until X is equal to the number of your opponent's controls, including their reinforcements. Oh, okay. This might be a good Silver Duel card. I think that's playable in Silver Duel. Surveil 1, then you draw a card and lose 1 life. Okay. Surveil, then draw a card is always a pretty good ability because you get to see where you're going to draw and shape your hand a bit. At the end of your turn, if a creature support was destroyed, exiled, or warped, effect triggered this turn, draw a card. Okay, so you get to draw 2 cards possibly. Not a bad card. For a 5 mana cost spell, that's playable. Especially in black. Yeah, I don't hate that one. Robots. When this creature guys create 2 lander tokens. Okay. Just a cheap way to create some lander tokens. Not hateable. Hey, what's up, Andrew? Should I call you Xandrew? Systems override. Oh, it's one of these. This card is a spacecraft. It gets +3+. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of those, like, steal your creature for a turn cards. Some people like it, but whatever. When this creature enters the battlefield as reinforced, you may discard an artifact card from your hand. If you do, draw 2 cards. At the beginning of your turn, this creature gains death touch until end of turn. It just doesn't really do enough to care. Create 2 lander tokens, destroy a random artifact card, then deal 2 damage to each creature. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. So this is kind of a nice little self-contained card. So you create 2 lander tokens, and those are artifacts, right? Yes. They are artifacts, so you might destroy one of these random artifact cards. Or if you don't destroy that one, you might destroy a gold token or something like that. So pretty cool. Deal 2 damage to each creature. To all of creatures in play, maybe not the greatest, most like most predictable card or most consistent card, but this might be a fun one. I don't know. It might not be great, but no, don't like it. Those were all right. Some interesting cards in there. Nothing meta yet, but we're still early on in our pack openings. All right, another rare. Having decent luck with rare so far. Another rare. Wow. All right. Nalthazar in his stream earlier was talking about streamer luck. I wonder if that's what he's referring to. One sec. Okay. Angel Wizard, 2/1, 12 mana, but vigilance. When this creature enters the battlefield, your opponent exiles the card with the greatest amount of mana that can be discarded from their hand. Then your opponent draws a card. That's a weird effect. Um, Greatest amount of mana that can be. So the card that has the most mana in it gets discarded when this creature enters the battlefield. That could be interesting. Pretty tricky. That's going to be an annoying card. If somebody figures that out, especially for white, white just having a pretty nice discard ability there. Pair this with anything that makes you ETB continuously, something like the Aminatu Vanguard. That can be super annoying. I'm not. I don't know how much I'm gonna play this card, but I'm sure it's gonna annoy me a lot when I face it. Terra Symbiosis, 14 mana, 2 shield, support card enchantment. When a creature you control attacks, if this creature is not buffed, it gets +2/+1. Otherwise, it gets +1/+1, and then draw a card. You know, this ain't bad for mono green, where sometimes you really want some extra draw in your hand or in your during your turn. I guess it would just be at the end of your turn, but still, refill your hand for next turn. Definitely playable. I just wish that it was more than 2 shields, because a green enchant or a mono green card like this is likely gonna get blown up if you play a lot of green conversions. So gotta be careful with that one. But otherwise, an okay card, playable. Creature you control dies, surveil 1. Okay. Or artifact fact support you control is destroyed, surveil 1. This effect can trigger only once per turn. I feel like there are better cards like you can do this and it doesn't have the that oppressive limit on it. So I don't know. Probably not gonna care about that one. All right, another 11 mana card. So Colors of Magic. When you cast your first spell each turn, the first spell in your hand gains 4 mana. Okay, so gaining mana is not a thing in that event, so it doesn't matter. Destroy a random opposing creature support card, then surveil 1. For mono green, um, it's a decent card. If they're playing token supports, maybe it's not much. It's not that great, but otherwise, the Surveil is kind of cool too, I guess. It's an okay card. I'll probably play it in Commoner Cup because you can. A lot of times they're playing a lot of supports in that event, so this will get rid of one of them, hopefully. I get a collector's box review. Yeah, I'm just opening the boring stuff first. But I think I'm pretty much done with it, and then I could get on to the collector box stuff. I believe that's where we're at now. Okay, I'm trying to remember what are. Well, some of these are going to be Tezzeret cards too, so um, I'm not totally sure which ones are which. But what do we get? Super Void Premium Pack. So same sort of things here. Um, yeah, one almost 50-50 chance to get a rare out of these packs. So we likely will get dupe rares because that's just what happens when I open these. Oh, love that art though. This set has great art. Um, Not only just the regular stuff, but the um, the full arts for this set are freaking amazing. We'll take a look at them later because you gotta check these out if you haven't seen them. I really like. I didn't think I would like the this set, like the flavor of it. Oh, nice, a mythic. Okay. I didn't think I would like the flavor of this set as much as I did, but I think the art goes a long way toward me liking it. Okay, Tanic Steadfast second. It's a Kavu pilot, 17 mana, 3/5. When this creature enters the battlefield, your other creatures gain haste. Oh, sweet. Okay, so that already makes it playable. When you trigger a warp effect for the first time in your turn, gain 10 mana. Oh, sweet. So you play that warp, you lose whatever thing, but then you gain 10 mana back. That's a pretty good card. Yeah, gaining my other creatures gaining haste on ETB is sweet, especially for red. Yeah, I like that card. That's a good one. Scrounge for Eternity. Create a lander token. You may destroy a target creature you control. If you do, return the first spacecraft support from graveyard to the board under your control. Okay, so you're probably going to want to play this um, with like tokens or something that you benefit from destroying a creature of yours, something that can return to play under your control, perhaps. Um, that's all right. Opponent's first creature can't block this turn. Okay, well, sometimes that's going to be relevant, but how many times are we realistically going to run into a Sap Sunin? And is that going to help that much? Who knows? That's the only thing I can think of off the top of my head that I'm like, okay. Okay, we'll look at that later. Okay, another rare. Human Cleric, 8 mana, 3/2. When this creature attacks, if you control two or more other creatures, this creature gets +2/+2. Okay. Activate 2. This creature gets -2/-2. Then disable an opposing card at random till the beginning of your next turn. That's interesting. Um, yeah, I don't hate this card. It's pretty cheap for the effect you get out of it. You got to be a little tricky though when you hit the activate 2. If you lose this card right away, but disabling opposing card at random is pretty neat. Pretty interesting effect. Seems like a playable card. Atomic Microsizer. Support enters the board at the beginning of your turn. Your first creature gets +1. Whatever. Being of combat on your turn, target creature's base power and toughness becomes 1/1. Okay, so that would probably be gains unblockable to end a turn. So when would you want to use this? Would you want to use it against your opponent? That's the only thing I could think of that you would want to use this for, but yeah, not great. Don't like it that much. Nice, another rare. Huh? Dupe rare. Another rare. Wow. Damn. 4 rares in a pack. Okay, this is definitely streamer luck. Now I know what Nalthazar was talking about earlier. 14 mana, 7/5 Eldrazi. Okay, it is colorless. It's got Warp 5. When this creature leaves the battlefield, draw a card. Then the last creature card in your hand gains 10 mana. Does that mean leave the thing like you can exile to return back into play, and then your last creature card in your hand gains 10 mana? Cool. That's all right. Or 5, draw a card, and the last creature card in your hand gains 5 mana. Seems all right. 7/5 is not a bad attacking stat either. Kind of a cool card. Interesting. Not sure how much I will use it, but I do think it's cool. Arch Enemy's Charm, 13 mana. Spell card with flash, exile target opposing creature. Cool. Return the first creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Okay. Your first creature gets +2/+2 and gains lifelink until end of turn. Okay. That is, it does a lot of stuff for you. So charms usually do that, right? Charm spells usually have a bunch of effects. Usually there's one solid effect out of them, but yeah, this one's got some pretty good abilities in it. So yeah, that's definitely playable. Mutinous Massacre. Destroy all creatures base cost 11 or less. Then gain control of each opposing creature until end of turn. Those cards gain haste until end of turn. For 20 mana. That's cool. Yeah, I think this is actually a pretty interesting card. If you play this at the right time, if your opponent gets like some crazy start on you, and then you just take them all from them on your next turn by playing this card and then smack them with it, that's pretty cool. It is one of those other things, though. Like, would you rather them hit your opponent, or would you rather get rid of them all? That's a tough choice. But it is a cool card. One that I'll definitely play around with, try and have some fun with. Don't know how much I'm going to actually use it outside of just messing with it. When this creature enters the battlefield, destroy target creature. Cool. Pretty nice. Warp 5. Oh, Warp 5, destroy target creature. That's cool. That makes this card playable too. Warp 5. Because you can just, exile this from your hand and use it as a kill spell. That's a cool card. I like that. Might be good to play in those events where you need cheap creatures, and that fits the bill. Very nice. What kind of luck? All right. The luck continues. Dang. Whoa. 2 mythics? Holy crap. Webcore, are you watching? If this sells some collector boxes, I would love a cut. Because if everybody gets this kind of luck, they're going to be flying off the shelves. So the Dominion Bracelet, 18 mana, colorless artifact, 4 shields. At the beginning of combat on your turn, your first creature gets +1/+1. Beginning of your turn, if your first creature has power 25 or more, exile the support, then increase all color mana bonuses on your opponent's planeswalker by 10 until the beginning of your next turn. Interesting. What do I think of this card? I think it's definitely a cool card. It's an equipment too, though, so that's cool. There probably are ways to cheat this out because it's an equipment in different ways. It's too bad we don't have that Nahiri anymore. I feel like they waited for certain cards to rotate out of standard before they gave us cards like this, so that's not fair. But power 25, just play this with Titan's Vanguard and just make your opponent cry. um, so the only thing is it's 18 mana, so it's going to take a little bit of effort to get into play, whether you cheat it out or just hard cast it. Probably want some sort of way to bring this into play continuously. So maybe like Aminatu could use this too, because you're going to exile it, and then you use your third ability and you bring it back into play, and then yeah, you just hit them with continuous mana bonus, just screwed. Yeah, that's cool. Um, Alpha Rail, Alpha Rail. It's like Raphael, but not. Dyslexic Raphael. Um, this is the one that Gauze spoiled. So he did a deep dive on it. I think it's cool. It's one of these opponents lose half their life rounded up. So play this with Master of Cruelties and Unstoppable Slasher. The only thing is you probably want to buff up your creatures at some point during the match, because there's kind of like this bell curve that happens with these kind of cards, where the first couple of turns you play these creatures and you just completely sap their life from them, but then it takes a little bit of time to get to the point where you're actually killing them. But with 3 of these guys on the board, that's probably going to be sped up by that much more. 3 times more, to be exact. So, yeah, very cool. I'm glad I pulled that one. Virulent Silencer. Creative. Oh, wow. Phyrexian Toxins are still going to be in standard. Cool. And it's colorless. Okay. So Tameo, Dreamtide Whale, or Metastatic Evangel. Oh wait, but that's only proliferate. I'm thinking of escalate. So okay. There's no proliferate escalate cards in standard. Probably not. We'll have to look. But Toxin, that's kind of interesting. Bringing Toxin back into standard just when you thought we were done with it. So if you put 3 artifact creatures down, give them all double strike, you're going to toxify them, and you'll get to toxic 20 in a few turns. It's not like going to be super meta or anything, but there's something there. Draw 2 cards, then your opponent loses 2 life. For 7 mana, drawing 2 cards in black with no downside to you is very nice. That's actually a pretty good common. Yeah, definitely a playable common. 5 mana with flash. Creature you control gain hexproof till next turn. Yeah. It's alright. Problem is you just don't know when hexproof is relevant. Especially if it's only for a turn. Another rare. Okay, it's a dupe rare. I can't complain too much. What do we get here? Nah, that kind of sucks. Deal X damage to target creature. I'm already not interested. But I guess it's an interesting card, even if it's not one that I'm going to use. Doubling the damage. X is that creature. Oh, actually, you know what? Deal X damage to target opposing creature. X is that creature's power. For the most part, creatures' toughness is equal to their power. So this is similar to that card we had way back in the day. I think it was back in the either a Munket or Kaladesh, where we had a card. No, it was actually a Innistrad, right? The original Innistrad that had that one card. There's a red spell that did this basically. If that creature has flying, double that damage. So Yeah, this is actually a nice little, could be thought of as a removal spell. So, pretty cool. Nice to see red getting a card like this again in standard. It's not going to work for everything, right? Because sometimes you'll end up facing somebody with prevent damage, but not a bad little card. Okay, that looks not that good. Okay. One new or two new cards. Creature enters the battlefield and gets plus X plus X. X is the number of creatures you control, not including reinforcements. So the best you can do is it becomes a 5/5 when you play it. So, yeah. Deal 3 damage to. Yeah, those cards are never all that great. At least it's untargeted. It's a cheap spell, I guess, if you want to play it in those kind of looping decks, the red burn looping decks. That's all right. Okay, well, getting some cool stuff. What did we get? Extinguisher Battleship. 16 mana, colorless. Spacecraft. When this support enters the board, destroy a random opposing card, then deal 4 damage to each opposing creature. Oh, wow. That's pretty good. Station 4, I bet it's going to be basically the same thing when this creature enters. Yeah. That's good. Good artifact. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, definitely playable. Probably going to use that here and there. That is a cool card. Okay, 15 mana beast with reach, 6/6 landfall. Landfall's back. Yay. Oh wait, no, I'm thinking landforming. But landfall's all right too. Landfall gain 2 mana. This effect can trigger up to 3 times per turn. Okay. That's not terrible. In the right deck, that can be pretty good. And it's a pretty beefy creature, 6/6 with reach. Yeah. Um, cool card. Definitely one that I'm probably going to use in Silver Duel here and there. But yeah, definitely a card worth playing with. If creature enters the battlefield, create a soldier token. Warp 2, create a soldier token. Eh, it is a common, so what do you expect? But it's not great. Okay, we're done with those. We got this Edge of Eternities. What theme is this one? Pinnacle Premium Pack. So what can we get here? Okay, we got one of those. Oh, I got a couple. All right, so it's kind of just all over the place. I don't really know exactly what that means, but the odds of pulling rares are very good. Pulling mythics seem to be pretty good too. So there's another rare. And another rare. All right, I'm getting a lot of rares to start this set off. Love that. 6 mana, 3/3, warp 3/3, red blue. When an artifact support enters the battlefield, create a drone token. What are the drones? It's just a 2/2 token with flying. Warp 3, create a drone. Meh. Okay, wait, hold on a second. When an artifact support card, does that mean when we play Hell to Pay or hit the mother load, we're just going to be creating a bunch of drones? I like that. This would be a good Satoru card. Okay. I actually like that card. Yeah, that's going to be fun. Human Bard. He sure is. Starfield vocalist. He looks like a K-pop dude. Human Bard. Okay, yeah. Warp 6. When a creature enters the battlefield under your control, reinforce it 2 times until end of turn. Okay. Whoa. All right. Pair this with the right cards, and that's pretty good. Warp 6, reinforce another creature card you control. Okay, so that's a permanent. This card's cool. You play it as the warp, or you play it just as a creature, and it seems pretty neat. I like it. It's kind of a baby Vanifar. but cheaper, more accessible. Not a bad card. You know, I've not had a lot of, I haven't seen a lot of like bad high rarity cards. I mean, we're always going to get bad low rarity cards. I mean, that's kind of the point. But the rares and stuff that I've gotten so far that I've seen, I like. Star Breach Whale, okay, 11 mana, so it's colors of magic relevant. This creature enters the battlefield, Surveil 2, Warp 3, Surveil 2. Not terrible. Surveil 2 is nice. Surveil 1 is just kind of eh, but Surveil 2 actually starts to be irrelevant. I like it. Not meta or anything, but I think there is a place in the game for a card like that. When this creature attacks, Surveil 1. Okay. Target creature is +1/+1. Okay. We'll look at these a little later. All right. What do we got? Beginning of your turn, your first creature fights the first opposing creature. That could get dangerous. You want to have prevent damage in your creatures that you play this card with. Or else you might just keep destroying your own creatures. Although you may want to do that in some instances. So, you know, if you play this with a Galta or something like that, it's a 15/15. So at least you can do something with that there. Okay, maybe there are more uses for this card than I'm giving it credit for. But yeah, I think it's a pretty cool card. Target creature gets +1/+1, then draw a card. That's for 3 mana though. This could work in maybe like a spell loop type of deck. So I'm not gonna just completely discount it. On its own, it's whatever, but there could be use for this card. When this creature attacks, Surveil 1. Okay. That can be an okay card in Elspeth, Archangel Elspeth. But hopefully you have better cards by now. But it's an alright card, like one to master and forget, but it's not a bad card. It's like what Steve says, high tier. But he uses naughtier words than that. Another rare. Sweet. Landfall, create a robot token. Okay. Warp 6, create 3 robot tokens. Okay. I don't hate this card. Landfall's not going to be that hard to get in green. You just got to make sure you don't destroy your support too quickly. But yeah, landfall, create a robot token, no limit on that. Realistically, you're not going to create tons of robots, but there is something there. That's a fun one. Pull through the weft. Return up 2 non-land spells from your graveyard to your hand. Return the first land sport from your graveyard to the board under your control. There you go. 18 mana, though. That's a lot. It is cool. There are good lands out there for sure. And getting them into play for free is nice, but do you want to pay 18 mana for it? I think it's a little too expensive for the effect. It is a good effect, but that's a lot to pay for it. Ooh, nice. Shuffle target creature back into its owner's library. Surveil 2. That's cool. Lost in space. Sweet art. I just love the name of the card, too. But that's a good card. Very nice removal, and it's got flash. Yeah, that's solid. Nice little removal card, and it's got Surveil too. So definitely one of the best commons from this set. Cryogen Relic. Disable. Target creature will begin next turn. Then destroy support. When support is destroyed, draw 2 cards. To activate 1, it's going to be probably pretty difficult to hit that reliably. But it's, I guess if you're a newbie, it's a playable card. But hopefully you get something much better soon. Dupe Mythic. Okay, so is that the candidate for the Mythic I'm going to pull 5 times this set? Probably, because I've already pulled it. Okay, Ragos Deaf Gastronaut. When this creature enters the battlefield or is reinforced, create X food tokens. X is the number of artifact you control, including the reinforcements up to 5. Okay, but that's still really nice. When it's reinforced too. So does that mean if you play this with Knowledge is Power, can you reinforce this? Like there's no turn. Like you can, as long as you reinforce this creature more than once a turn, I think you can just keep creating a bunch of food tokens. That's cool. When a food card you control leaves the battlefield, deal 3 damage to your opponent. Oh, that's nice. Okay. So this is a nice Guillaume pairing. Guillaume, this, and some sort of token generator. Oh, that's going to be annoying. Oh, I like this. This is a spicy card for me. That's going to be fun to play around with. I like that. This creature becomes blocked. Gets +3 until end of turn. Okay, so you got a chance to maybe take out a creature that you have no business taking out with reach. Master and Forget, but not a bad card. I don't think. Pretty cheap. So far, cards in the set are overall pretty good. I feel like the baseline of this set is not bad. Dang. Okay, 3 new rares out of 1 pack. They must have. I guess I don't remember what the odds for pulling rares before were, but they had to have been way lower than what they are now, because I've never gotten so many rares out of these packs like this. So if this is by design, then thank you, Webcore, because this is a lot of rares to start the set off with. And one of my main complaints as of late has been the difficulty of acquiring new rares from a set. I almost always have to end up crafting a lot of them. So if I don't have to do that anymore, I am loving that. Okay, 18 mana, 0/1. When this creature enters the battlefield, the creature gets +X/+X. X is the number of green and white gems on the board divided by 2, rounded down. Okay. I'm not sure how good that will be. When this creature enters an attack, you may draw a card. And this creature gets -2/-2. Okay. It's got some versatility. I don't like that it costs 18 mana to cast. That seems like a little too much, but has interesting effects. I do like the design of the card. I just don't know if I like the 18 mana cost. Lumen class frigate. 5 mana, station 2. At the beginning of combat, your turn, your creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Station 6. At the beginning of combat, your turn, you may destroy this card. If you do, create a charged Lumen class frigate on your. Yeah, I mean it is a 5 mana card, but you only get 10 cards to play with. So even if the card is low cost, if the card isn't doing much for you, who cares? So definitely on the bad side of the rares here. Insect Scientist, 1/3. When this creature enters the battlefield, create a lander token. Okay. Artifact card you control leaves the battlefield, deal damage to your opponent's planeswalkers. Effect can trigger up to 3 times per turn. That other card is so much better than this one, the Food Maker. So, yeah, play that card instead is my recommendation. Discard, draw. It's okay. Create 2 lander tokens. Landfall, your creature, then your creature gain vigilance and haste. Okay. Do you have to jump through some hoops? However, this could be very cool in my what do you call it? In my Casmina loop deck, because one of the main sticking points in that deck is the lack of haste. I'll get huge creatures, but then have to sometimes wait a turn to play or to make them deal the lethal blow. But if I can landfall, and I will because I'm playing a bunch of Tent with Discoveries, that's going to be nice. Okay, I'm going to play this card for sure. Did we get anything new? Just this one. At the end of your turn, if creature or support was destroyed, exile the first spell card from your graveyard and create a lander token. Nah, crap. Okay. Another one of that. Another one of Gangnam Style. um, Warmaker Gunship. Artifact. Spacecraft. 3 shields, 15 mana, red. When support enters the board, deal X damage to the first opposing creature. X is the number of artifacts, supports, and reinforcements on the board. Okay, so does that count your opponent as well? That's kind of cool. Station 3. Begin combat your turn, destroy the support and create a charge. So it's probably going to be the same thing, even though they didn't give us a link there. But I'm going to guess that this just becomes a spacecraft creature that does the same thing. It's all right. Seems fun. Not going to be meta, but cool. Dauntless Scrap Bot. When this creature enters the battlefield, exile all cards from your opponent's graveyard, then create a lander token. Okay, so this is colorless. So, cool graveyard tech. Very, going to be very interesting with certain planeswalkers. I'll think about that later, but not one to play against a Dragonhawk deck because exiling your opponent's graveyard can sometimes be dangerous for that reason. But it seems cool. For 6 mana to exile your opponent's graveyard, I personally prefer a spell do that for me so that you don't take up a creature slot with a pretty vanilla creature otherwise, but it's all right. Okay, one of these guys again. Okay, looks like our luck may have ran out for a new card. Oh, wait, no, we still got one. Possibility Technician, 8 mana, 3/3. When this creature or another Kavu creature enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card, it gains 3 mana. Okay, so finally we have a reason to use the Jared Cathalion. What do you call it? The Vanguard, because that creates a Kavu token every time you do the +1 or whatever. So you're drawing a card and gaining 3 mana. It's not a great reason to use that Vanguard, but it is a reason. So if you still need to master both of those cards, there you have it. Okay, these two red cards, red packs, I'm not sure where they came from, but all right, let's see what we get from them. See if we get anything new. Nope, I don't think so. Oh, okay. Menon. When an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, your first other creature gets +1/+1. This effect can trigger up to 4 times per turn. Oh, well, that could have been pretty amazing. Right now, it's just new rare. Sweet. I got so many rares of this set already. Damn, we got another rare. When artifact support you control is destroyed or loses a reinforcement, draw a card that gains 4 mana. Whoa, that's pretty good. Destroying gold tokens and drawing cards and giving them mana in the process. Love that. That is going to be probably a nice little um, loop piece. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. That can be really good. Definitely going to have fun experimenting with that card. Pain for all. 16 mana, 3 shield enchantment. When this support enters the battlefield or board, deal X damage to random opposing creature. X is the base power of your first creature. Okay. When a creature you control is dealt damage, deal Y damage to your opponent. Y is the damage dealt that way. This effect can trigger up to 2 times per turn. Okay, but it's a creature you control that's dealt damage. Okay. That's weird. I don't necessarily know how to. You're gonna want to play this against a creature that can block, right? But you can also target yourself with a card. But I don't know. Are there any cards that are better to target yourself with than just your opponent? Because like Full Throttle is amazing, and you don't have to worry about doing any like funkiness with it. It's kind of a jank-free card, so I don't know. This card seems janky to me, but I delve in the jank sometimes, so that's it's okay, I guess, because it's untargeted, but not a card I love. Activate one, draw a card. Meh. There's some cool stuff there, though. Okay, where are we at? All right, we finished all that, so now we got to go all the way down to our elite packs. So let's open some rare elite packs. Rare plus pack. So I got 2 of those to open from this pack. What can we get here? Okay, I have no idea what any of these cards are. Depth Shaker Titan. Oh, they didn't send me that? I need to ask them if they'll send me that too, because I spoiled it. They send us cards that we spoil, but they have not done so yet, I don't think. Unless that's what they did here. No, they're just telling me about issues. Webcore's got issues. Truer words have never been spoken. Okay, new rare. I was worried because I've pulled so many rares. This is the flip side to that is you might not get any new rares. You're probably gonna pull a duplicate rare from the elite packs at this point. So 4 mana, 1/1. Activate 3. Exile the first exile, cover your graveyard, and then this creature gets +1/+1. Crap. How's that a rare? That's definitely that might be the worst rare I've pulled from this set so far. What next? Another new rare. I like that. Starwinder, 18 mana, 7/7 Leviathan. When a creature you control deals combat damage to your opponent's planeswalker, draw X cards. X is the damage dealt that way. Damn. Okay. So, a lot of the times, unless you're playing just straight up weenies, you're going to fill your hand up easily. That's awesome. Draw that many cards. And then what? Like, you pair this with Knowledge is Power or something like that, especially with that Warp 10, draw 6 cards. This is a sweet card. Um, because it has Warp, I like that you can. It's versatile that way. Um, wow, that's a rad card. Okay, and 7/7 is nothing to sneeze at. I think it's 18 mana, but you know we got our ways to get things out. I like that card. That's a good card. Okay, we're not gonna open our Mythic Plus Elite packs yet because we have um, we still have a premium pack to open. Just one this time. 9 mana, 3/2 with Trample and Haste. Okay. Beginning of each combat, each creature and planeswalker loses prevent damage till end of turn. Oh, I like that. So, even though it's a weak beast, we can throw this on, get, you know, buff it in many different ways. Give it Leyline, Titan's Vanguard, all sorts of things. So, that effect is powerful enough to make me interested in this card. Yeah, I don't know how much I'm personally going to use it, but it's a hasty trampler for 9 mana, and it's got a great um, effect there in the text, so I like it. Oh, come on. All right, well, our luck is starting to run out here. That's okay. Really would be a jerk to complain at this point about the luck I've had so far. Okay, well, this is kind of what I was thinking. I would start to get the dupes from these Rare Plus packs. But it's possible we get a mythic, or I'm not going to hold out hope for a masterpiece, but you never know. Okay, yeah. Dupe rares, not surprising. All right. Okay, so next premium pack. I only have one premium pack to open this time. Gauze, I don't want to hear it. I was stupid. I spent a lot on epic packs from OTJ and Duskmorn, so that's why I'm so hurting for crystals at this point. And I bought some full art cards. Speaking of, we'll look at those full art cards later, but man, they are so sick. Okay. Still getting some new commons and uncommons. Never a bad thing. Okay. See if we get any mythic from here. Pulling mythics from these packs are actually not that common. People have a misconception about like the luck from these premium packs. Okay, dupe rare, not surprising. Okay, we got some uncommons and commons, so that's also all right. The support enters the board. Destroy the top 3 cards of your library, then return the first creature space card from your graveyard to your hand. It's probably going to be the same thing. Yeah, it's whatever. I mean, destroying top 3 cards of your library is all right, but I think there are better ways of destroying your library, even without breach in standard anymore. Like, here you go. Here's pretty much almost the same thing, but it is an insect. This creature enters the battlefield, destroys the top 3 cards of your library. So we have a lot of insects in this set. So I'm thinking that Swarm Yard is going to be a pretty cool card to use again. I mean, that's saying you're not using it already. If you're a Zibvert disciple, you probably are using Swarm Yard, because he champions that card to no end. When this creature dies, return the first spacecraft or a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield under your control. Oh, okay. So this creature dies, and then you can put another creature into play. That's cool. There's that one card that we were looking at earlier that you can destroy a creature with it and get an effect. So that's probably where you're going to want to pair that with. Creature enters the battlefield, create a lander token, landfall. The creature gets +1. That's pretty bad. Landfall until end of turn. When a modified creature, I think these are buffed, yeah, or have a pilot evergreen. Draw a card. Okay. Not bad. Drawing a card in when your creatures are buffed, you draw a card when they attack. Not a bad card. 15 mana. It's a little steep, but it is a pretty good effect, especially for an uncommon. That sucks. I don't think that was any good. The one I whizzed past. Nope. First strike and reach until end of turn. Why would you want to get reach only until end of turn? It doesn't even have flash on it. I feel like this card needs flash for it to be interesting. There are ways to get flash onto your spells, but I don't know. Is that worth it for this card? Not really. Same, but this is a beginning of your turn until end of. Yeah. What's the point? Increase the station value of your card. Wait, what? Why would you want to increase the station value? No, that sucks. It should have said decrease, and then that would make more sense, right? Then that would make this a playable card, because then you could use this to decrease your station and make cards more useful. But unfortunately, they did it the wrong way, and it is a bad card now. That might be one of the worst cards from the set for that reason. My support enters the board. You may discard a card. If you do, draw 2 cards. Okay. Activate 1, create a robot token. It's not bad. Kind of interesting that only a support card. It's got no subtype to it. But I don't know. Most people won't play that card. Okay, that's it. And now we can start to open our final packs here that I have for the set. Let's do the Elite pack. Let's see what we get from them. What can we get? Maybe I should screen grab those. Let's see. Ancient Tomb, Depth Shaker, Titan. There's some good cards in here. Let's see. Just gonna take screenshot. Okay. Let's keep going. Oh wait, I missed that. Actually, hold on. Open snip tool. Snip. Doing this on my PC, so it's annoying to do it through here. Okay. Does it only save one screen at a time? Oh, that's annoying. Oh well. I guess I'll just have to not do this right now. Do it on my phone later. What do we get? Oh, yes. Universal Surveillance. 16 mana. Okay, this card. At the beginning of your turn, if this card is in your hand, reduce its cost by X until end of turn. X is the number of cards you control, including their reinforcements. Okay, that's cool. But gain 20 mana just for casting it. Then, if you have less than 6 cards in your hand, draw cards equal to the difference. So you gain mana and then you draw cards. Amazing card. Nice. Oh man, this was definitely one of my chase cards for this set. So broken. I mean, mystical teachings to gain 20 mana. This is going to be, man, I'm going to abuse this card. Yes. Oh, sweet. Oh, I'm so glad I pulled that. That is awesome luck. Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay, what else can we get here? I actually don't know what most of these cards do yet. So let's just see what we get. And we'll take a look at it and assess whether or not I ran out of all my luck. Okay, this guy. Okay, this is the Mythic Menon by Menon. Anyone remember that jingle? 12 mana, Vigilance, Flying, 4/5, Jellyfish Advisor. At the beginning of your turn, draw a card. Then the first artifact card in your hand gains X mana. X is the number of artifact cards you control. Okay, it's something to build around. Not a terrible card. All right, that's one I can mess with. But no, it was all about that spell. Okay, we got some other stuff in here. I don't know what almost any of those cards are, so let's just do it. Okay. Uthros Titanic God Core. It's a land planet. 15 mana, 5 shields. At the beginning of your turn, convert 3 gems to blue gems. Okay. Station 4. At the beginning of your turn, gain X mana. X is the number of artifact cards you control. So Station 4, it's going to take a little bit to get there. We are at least converting 3 gems to blue every turn, which is not bad. 15 mana, though. It's all right. It's not bad. I don't know. Should it be a mythic, though? Not sure. Okay, what's next? Caveron Memorial World. Okay, so, oh, all right. So we get mythic lands. This is a cycle here. So basically, you want to play this for the converting to red gems, right? So yeah, they're all right. They're they're playable. Maybe I'm just spoiled. I look at the card like this, I'm like, yeah, it's all right. Other people are probably like, what? But I don't know. It's decent. Okay, what's next? View cards. Okay, this is a bit smaller of a pool to choose from. So let's see what we get. Okay, so now we got the white one. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I guess that's the suckiest part about these cards, that they're in the elite packs. it kind of sucked to spend all those jewels on a pack that just has like some lands that are not even usually as good as a lot of the rare lands we already have in standard. So it's a bit of a bummer. The Ceremia. Okay. 8 mana, 4 shields, support card, artifact, spacecraft. His support enters the board. Fetch the first legendary creature from your library. It gains half its mana rounded down. Okay. Targeted fetch, always pretty solid. Beginning of combat on your turn, legendary creatures you control get +2/+2 and first strike until the beginning of your next turn. The first strike could be relevant if you're playing something with defender or whatever. Legendary creature. So if you play this with legendary creatures, you get a nice little secondary effect from it. I mean, it's all right for the price. 4 mana. It's probably not gonna be one that I play very often. This creates a spacecraft. Yeah, it's okay. I feel like I got a lot of crappy, or not crappy, but just mid mythics out of the way. So we still got the ability to pull from here. I don't have a ton of jewels saved up either, so let's just see what we get. And start the journey towards, yeah, so, okay. At the beginning of your turn, convert 3 gems to green gems. All right. Station 4, at the end of your turn, create 3 gems to green gems. So, yeah, it's all right, but I mean, I'm not just going to repeat what I just said, but you know what I'm thinking. Getting these lands out of the way, I guess, is all right. Nice. Yep. So, okay, so we got all of them now. Cool. Convert 3 gems. When a creature dies, draw a card. Yeah. All right. Well, we had a ton of rares, and I'm very happy for that masterpiece spell. So everything else is just kind of a bonus. Last thing I want to share with you guys before I call it a night here is check out some of these full art cards with you because they're pretty sweet. I mean, look at that. The design on this is just rad. Love that. Sammy Wildcat Captain. We could look at these on our own. I just want to look at the art for now. That is awesome. The end stone. I don't remember what this does. You can cast a card, draw a card. At the end of your turn, you lose 10 life. Okay. Whoa. All right. That's a good card. Cast a card, draw a card. Yeah, that's a good card. Losing 10 life for that kind of effect is not that punitive if you really think about it. That's basically like not exactly, but this is basically Rashmi the support. You can think of it that way, which is awesome. And that's an exclusive. I don't. How do you card find? Oh, cannot be obtained. Oh, I guess we have to. We'll look at that that later. That's also sweet. That is gorgeous. When a creature you control dies, exile the first opposing creature. That's rad. Land planet is met. Yeah, I agree. Support is destroyed. Move the first creature greatest power 11 or less from your opponent's exile into player in your control. That creature is +4/+4. How many relevant creatures are going to be 11 or less? I'm sure there are some, but we're caring that much about it. I mean, it's a nice way to get a whip cracker out of your opponent's side. Starwinder, that's sweet. I like that card, and that is some rad art. I used rad on purpose because that totally looks like an 80s t-shirt. That looks like a, I don't know, some prog rock album cover for sure. This is also sweet. Look at that art, man. What's this card do? And this creature enters the battlefield. Other creatures gain. Oh yeah, that's this one. All right. Oh cool. Yeah, that's awesome art for a card I like too. This one as well. Oh man, that's that is so cool. This one too. Devastating Onslaught. Reinforce target non-token creature, artifact creature you control 3 times till end of turn. That creature gains haste. Okay, it's definitely situational, but um, it's a solid effect. Oh, man, look at that. Exalted Sunboard. That has some of the coolest art I've seen yet in this game, probably. When a non-token creature you control is reinforce it twice instead. Reinforce each. That's nice. You could double up with like Knowledge is Power or something like that. That's a good card. Yeah, I want that one. That needs to be in my collection. Quantum Riddler. I think I pulled this too. Did I pull this? No. Did I? When this creature enters the battlefield, draw a card against full mana. Oh wait, I did, right? But it yes, I did. Yeah, because this is I was saying this one was like another version of Phenomenon Investigators. But yeah, that art is sweet. God, this set is gonna suck my crystals. That sounded bad. um, yeah, I'm just gonna leave that there. Okay, that's these. Oh, that's awesome. Hopefully, it's a good card. Exile all creatures and exile all spacecraft. I don't love these kind of cards, but I want that for the art. I mean, I want all these for the art, but there are some top choice ones here. Like land planets, as much as I think they're gorgeous, do I want to spend that for mediocre lands? Uh, whoa. Landfall, this creature is +4/+4 and +4/+4 for each of its reinforcements. That's good. God, you put this with what's his face? Bristly Bill? Yeah, that's fun. Mm. Oh, that's sweet too. I know these are bad lands. Well, not bad, but bad for the amount of resources they take. Anti-causal vestige. Oh yeah, that's cool too. That's awesome. I want t-shirts of like all these cards. Nova Hellkite, Archenemy's Charm. That's sweet. Another like 70s album cover. Another 70s album cover. This looks like some straight up like sticks or something. You cast your second card each turn, create a soldier token, then your creatures get yeah, that one's alright. Man, that is rad. Estelle Reclaimer. Oops, where are we at? They gave us a lot too. That's cool. Turn. Okay, yeah, I think I did pull this one. But that art, damn, sick. This is sick too. This creature enters the battlefield or attacks. This creature gets +X/+X. X is the number of cards in your exile up to 10. That's pretty good. You think about it, it's not that hard to get a lot of cards in your exile. And then you're just growing um, at least by 10 every turn if you have enough cards in your exile. For 10 mana, that's pretty good. It could be a solid win con in black, maybe. Um, yeah, I mean it's no Nethergoyf, but it's pretty cool. Elegy Acolyte, that's cool too. Yeah, whoever art directed this set, kudos to you. Another rad album cover. Land cards in your hand gain 2 mana. Okay. At the end of your turn, return the first land card. That's alright. That's cool too. Love that color palette. Sir Vondum Sunstar Exemplar. Vigilance and Menace. Creature control that. Battlefield. Mm, okay, when this creature dies, it exile from the battlefield. This creature is 4 or more, destroy a random opposing card. That's okay. It's a lot to jump through to get there. God, that's rad too. Yeah, that looks like yeah, all these look like metal album covers. That's sweet. You activate your second loyalty ability. Return the first creature with the greatest mana value up to 14 from your graveyard to the battlefield under your control. Interesting effect. When you activate your second loyalty ability, it has to be very specific. It's a cool card. I like the effect, but a little bit kind of janky in that regard. Another sweet card, man. Landfall. Not a great card, but kind of. I don't know why this makes me laugh, but I kind of like it either way. Emissary Escort. When this creature enters the battlefield, it gets +X +X +0. X is the highest mana cost between supports you control. Okay, so the most it can get. What's the highest cost artifact? Well, if we had Portal to Phyrexia, that'd be sweet still. But what do we have in standard that's an artifact? And mana cost, artifact. Cursed Recording. Okay. So we can get up to 20 in. Oh, no, wait. No, no, no. Salvation. Yeah, you play one of these guys? Yeah, Salvation Engine. Then you get a pretty beefy creature. I mean, you're gonna have to jump through a lot of hoops to. Well, maybe not. I mean, Pyromancer Goggles is still a very playable card. Chromatic Lantern is cool. I just got this card because I had to craft it, but this is a card I've been wanting to play with. So, cool. So yeah, I actually think that card is it's better than some people might think. Well, there you have it. This was fun. Um, I really enjoyed looking through those full art cards. Had some great luck in those packs. So yeah, I mean the elite packs weren't like the greatest, and I know that a lot of people look to those. That's kind of like the selling point for those for the collector boxes, but those packs had tons of rares in them. So if you're someone who's struggles to collect rares, that might be the way to go. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the stream. This went on pretty long, one of my longer streams of recent note. But hope you enjoyed it. Gonna rest and maybe do some Tezzeret play testing tomorrow. I got a little bit of free time tomorrow, so I'll start a little earlier next time with my stream. Cool. Thanks for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment. Check out my membership if you're interested as well. All right.